And then there's Tim Scott. Tim Scott is the only black Republican in the Senate, telling Fox News, of course Fox News, that what he calls woke supremacy is as bad as white supremacy.
Woke supremacy is as bad as white supremacy.
I haven't seen any woke supremacists. I've never seen a woke supremacist lynching anybody. Never saw a woke supremacist denying anybody access to housing or job or education or voting rights. Where are the woke supremacists attacking police? Where are the woke supremacists hunting police officers in the halls of the Capitol and beating them with Blue Lives Matter signs with white supremacist insignia on their shirts and carrying white supremacist paraphernalia? Guess who I saw? Guess who police officers were beaten by? Guess who wanted to hang the vice president? White supremacist, Tim Scott! What are you doing? The only black Republican were the woke supremacists carrying the Confederate battle flag in the nation's capital? Tim Scott? Tim, I have to. I know you don't want me to yell, but this is ridiculous. You are gaslighting people. You are giving people misinformation. What are you doing, brother?
CNN host Don Lemon went off on Republican Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina on his show the other day for the comments Tim Scott made on Fox News primetime about, quote, woke supremacy, end quote, being as bad as white supremacy. What in the world? Take a look at this clip and be prepared to be stunned by Republican stupidity.
Bill, the GOP, the party of no, trying to distract and deflect with some really shameful statements about race, like this disgusting claim that Black Lives Matter doesn't like families.
I know the strength that Black Lives Matter had in this last election. I know it's a group that it doesn't like the old-fashioned family. Disturbed that we have another program here in which we're increasing the marriage penalty.
Come on. Doesn't like the old-fashioned family. What does that mean when Black Lives Matter was about police brutality and violence and trying to keep family members and loved ones alive? Sounds like family values to me. What he said is not even coded racism. That's saying it right out loud. Saying it right out loud. And people show you who they are, huh? He thinks he can just throw it in as an aside about Black Lives Matter, like nothing, the old-fashioned family. What does old-fashioned mean? Huh? What does old-fashioned mean? What does that mean? Someone asking that? Insulting millions and millions of black families. Stacey Plaskett, not having it, not any of it.
How dare you? How dare you say that Black Lives Matter, black people do not understand old-fashioned families? Despite some of the issues, some of the things that you have put forward that I've heard out of your mouth in the Oversight Committee, in your own district, we have been able to keep our families alive for over 400 years, and the assault on our families to not have black lives or not even have black families. How dare you say that we are not interested in families in the black community? That is outrageous.
It is outrageous. And again, if I have to say this every single night of my life while I'm here, I will. You need to know the history of this country. Do you know how many black families were separated during slavery? I've had my ancestry done twice. It is so hard to even find records that go back even 2 generations sometimes, because what? the intentional separation of black families and no records. You know why? They were considered property. So it's God, it just angers me sometimes that people can be so ignorant. And then there's Tim Scott. Tim Scott is the only black Republican in the Senate, telling Fox News, of course, Fox News, that what he calls woke supremacy is as bad as white supremacy.
Woke supremacy is as bad as white supremacy.
Do you want to explain who these woke supremacists are? Because I looked really carefully and I didn't. Hang on, before we go to the video. I haven't seen any woke supremacists. I've never seen a woke supremacist lynching anybody. Never saw a woke supremacist denying anybody access to housing or job or education or voting rights. Never saw any woke supremacists enslaving anybody. Never saw any woke supremacists trying to keep people from marrying amongst different races. Come on, Tim Scott. I didn't see any woke supremacists storming the blanking Capitol. Where are the woke supremacists attacking police? Where are the woke supremacists hunting police officers in the halls of the Capitol and beating them with Blue Lives Matter signs with white supremacist insignia on their shirts and carrying white supremacist paraphernalia? Guess who I saw? Guess who police officers were beaten by? Guess who wanted to hang the vice president? White supremacists, Tim Scott! What are you doing? The only black Republican were the woke supremacists carrying the Confederate battle flag in the nation's capital? Tim Scott? Tim, I have to. I know you don't want me to yell, but this is ridiculous. You are gaslighting people. You are giving people misinformation. What are you doing, brother? What are you doing? What are you doing? You're not helping.
So this is just more fuel for the culture war fire that conservatives and their, quote, cancel culture warriors, as I'm calling them, are fanning the flames of. If you're scratching your head and you're wondering to yourself what in the world a woke supremacist even is, trust me, I'm scratching my head right along with you because I have no idea. Conservatives like Senator Tim Scott must think all they need to do is string together something that they don't like, such as the word woke, and tie it to supremacy, and voila, you have yourself a new term. When I cover these stories, I've always maintained that their problem, and when I say there, I'm talking about Republicans, conservatives, their problem is with social accountability. You have these rich, privileged airheads who are used to getting away with and doing and saying whatever they want to people and not being checked for it. So when the body politic comes up with the verbiage to do just that, all of a sudden it's turned into this thing that must be stopped. Don't get me wrong. I think cancel culture and many things that stem from social media are sometimes abused and taken out of context, but that's not what people like Tim Scott are worried about. They're worried about how cancel culture makes it harder for them to screw you all over, or us over, without being publicly held accountable. Okay, ignore the culture war aspect of this for a second, right? And realize that at the end of the day, this is mostly privileged people not wanting to hear from working class people they see themselves as being superior to. Tim Scott and people like him hate, quote, wokeness, because not because being woke is sometimes used in the wrong way and abused for clicks, well, which is, I already said that is something that happens, but they hate it because it gives people they want to ignore and disregard a voice. Never forget that. As Don Lemon said, when have woke supremacists, again, whatever that is, when have they lynched anybody? I don't know. When have they lynched anti-woke people? When have woke supremacists passed laws to take away the rights of the anti-woke? I can go on and on. You cannot have a system of supremacy without a way to enforce said supremacy. So since woke people do not have the power to enforce their wokeness on the unwoke, okay, it's not, you can't call it woke supremacy. So that's obviously ridiculous. I can go on and on. We know how ridiculous this is. So I don't want to spend too much time on it. I wanted to cover this a few days ago, but I didn't get around to it. So I'm covering it now. But, so yeah, this is yet another story of how conservatives are using the culture war to manipulate the public because they suck on policy and nobody agrees with them on policy. That's basically all that's going on right now. So my name is Brian Lewis. Make sure you share this video, like the video, and please subscribe. Thank you.